Since the dawn of man, we are born, we live our lives, and we die. Or do we? Walk a fine line with us as we explore the dynamics of our existence and the truth behind beliefs in the other side. Walk with us because we have found the key and the doorway has been unlocked.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to M.A.P.S. Omaha's The Doorway. I'm Shawn Halpenny.
And I'm Terri Musgrave. And together, we are Metro Area Paranormal Society.
Yes.
And what year were we founded?
We were founded in 2005.
Well, you know, this is one of those where you look at your spouse and say, what year did we get married? When's our anniversary? The only difference is I don't know. So you're arbitrarily correct.
Yes. It was 2005. This all started with me working at a television station.
Yes.
And a news director, was looking for stories for sweeps. And that would have been in November. Well, right at the beginning of November is
Dun, ta-da.
All Saints Day or Halloween.
Yes.
So in that vein, being a sound engineer for many years, I ran into EVPs. And I thought, well, this is just a bunch of hoo-ha, as a good friend of ours says. And I brought it up to the news director and said, hey, I ran into these EVPs, which are disembodied voices. And are they real? Are they not? And this was at the beginning of TAPS, as a matter of fact.
Well, I was going to say part of this was fueled, if memory serves.
Yes.
Ghost Hunters was knocking it out of the park on the reality television circuit.
Yeah.
And unbeknownst to Shawn and I, because we didn't really hang out that much then.
Right.
We were both real hooked on that.
Oh, yeah.
For pretty much the same reason. And we'll go into that.
Yes.
But I digress. Go ahead.
Okay. So I was given equipment, a digital recorder and a analog recorder and a still camera, and brought it all into one little nest and was thinking, I have no idea how to do any of this, but I guess I'm willing to learn. And I was speaking with my daughter and she said, well, why don't we go to a local cemetery and try the equipment out and kind of learn? And I was like, well, not at night because I'm a giant chicken. So we went to a local cemetery in the Benson area, Mount something. And this was around dusk. We were walking around, and I thought that if the groundskeeper saw me carrying a digital recorder in one hand and an analog recorder in the other, and my daughter taking pictures, and we're in a cemetery, they're going to have questions. So we tried to make it as brief as possible, although the sun was going down, and we were thinking, well, it's time we should kind of wrap. But before we did, I ran into almost virtually a ground
flat marker. And someone had chiseled the date off and re-chiseled a date back in of date of death. And for some reason, I found it humorous and said 1857 to 1893 or 96, depending. And I laughed. And then I kind of went, ooh, I'm sorry. And a voice on the recorder that I found much later while sitting watching Jay Leno in my underwear, listening to the audio on one and the audio on the other, and went to that point and heard a voice. And that voice said, time to leave. And I couldn't speak.
Katy Perry's 1884 or 2. Sorry, not joking.
And as I recall, a female voice.
It was. It was an older and I believe African-American, Black American woman saying, time to leave. And it shook me up pretty good.
Shawn, let's talk about the clarity of that EVP.
Katy Perry's 1884 or 2. Sorry, not joking.
The odds of you getting this type of EVP first time out is pretty spectacular.
It's like playing your first game of golf and hitting a hole in one.
Right. But so time to leave and I've heard it. I wasn't there when he found it because he was in his underwear.
Yeah, I was in my underwear.
But I have since, of course, heard it tons of times. And every time I do hear it, it is amazing, the clarity and the punctuality of it. It's as if that person was right next to you.
Yeah.
Would you say that's a fair assessment?
Yes. I would say the person was standing directly over me, which is almost how it felt.
So in the world of EVPs, that is called?
That would be an A.
Yes.
That would be something, the structures are A, B, and C, and an A is very clear without any type of audio manipulation to clean it up. B is that you need some audio manipulation to clean it, but you can pretty much clearly hear it. C is you know something's there, but no one can really tell you what it says.
Okay. This isn't a test, but just for our listeners' clarifications, how do you clean up a EVP tape?
Well, the great part about software now is what I use, and it's free, is Audacity. And I use a noise reduction plugin that's free on Audacity, and take a little sample somewhere else in the audio that's not has voices but just background noise, use it as the sample, and then take the part that I want to listen to and do a noise reduction and then simply amplify it. And that's it.
After hearing that, imagine, everybody out there, you are hearing this for the first time knowing exactly where it came from. And you being a sound person,
Yes.
having no logical answer of the origin of that voice.
Not really.
And that is why Shawn went screaming into the other room.
Yeah. Literally not being able to speak, and kind of, my daughter had her room downstairs. And I ran out of the room after I heard it. And I ran to the top of the stairs, and I meant to say, hey, Sammy, come look at this. And instead, it came out as, but my daughter knew my grunting and knew that she was going to run up and listen to it, and said, yeah, that's a woman's voice saying time to leave. And I was just, for Sammy, it seemed to be nothing. For me, it was like, oh, wow.
Well, and how I jumped into this scenario was Shawn was tasked with this ghost hunter sweeps piece. He had all the stuff and he needed a venue.
Yes.
Well, we had a common friend, a shared friend at that point,
Yes.
who said, hey, my friend Terry lives in a haunted house.
That's Right. That's exactly what it was.
And I would bet she'd be fine with you coming over. Well, that was an understatement. I still live in this house.
Yes,
It is haunted.
it is.
It's an experience unto itself, but one I'm super used to. And we'll get into that on another episode, I'm sure.
Sure.
However, we did do the sweeps piece, and I never did hear. Was it successful?
It was successful.
Was it? No,
Yes,
that's
it was
good.
successful enough, Terry, that if you remember, we ended up doing shows yearly right around.
That's true.
that we did.
I thought that was just our natural charm. Now you tell me it was the sweeps thing. I'm crushed. Thanks.
It wasn't necessarily just the sweeps thing.
Well, okay.
It was because we were able to do what we were able to do was popular, and we were able to stay overnight at the Durham Museum.
Yeah, we did that.
We did
Joslin
Castle,
not museum.
not the museum, the castle. And in doing that, let's chat a little bit about what I do have and can show the folks. Is one of our most, I guess, one of the famous ones that I have for this episode. We have tons more, folks. This episode, we have two, as a matter of fact. And I'll play it right now, and then we'll talk about it. Hang on.
Oakland. Watkins. Oakland. Watkins. Oakland. Watkins.
These are the sheep God wants next. Why don't you take this one?
We were field testing equipment, and I always, when I go into this, I always preface this by saying, folks, don't be creeping around cemeteries at night. It's against the law, and it's dangerous. And if you are arrested, you will be prosecuted. They're serious about it, and it's disrespectful. So that being said, if we're going to field test some equipment, we like to go to cemeteries in daylight. And we get this a lot. Why cemeteries? Those people are just dead in the ground. That is a paranormal question that's been bandied about for decades, because finding evidence in a cemetery is a little unnerving, honestly. If you think about, oh, boy, when you die, you just hang around yourself. But it's never been substantiated. That's why it's called para, beyond normal. Anyway, we were there. We were actually with another paranormal group.
Yes.
And we were in a certain part of the cemetery where the garden was laid out very systematically. The markers were all the same, and in between each marker, there was an exact same bush. Very neat, very orderly. And it was fall, so there were a lot of leaves. You can hear the crunch, crunch, crunch. But our constituent was walking. And as he was walking, he was reading the names, which is a practice that paranormal investigators use in cemeteries. You see someone's last name on a marker. When was the last time they heard that name out loud? And some investigators use it as a trigger. We've done that, and it's actually brought results, but he's reading it. Mm-hmm. And Shawn captured that. We did not hear that with our ears.
No.
at all. There was no chance that it was an overdrift of another conversation. We were the only ones there for as far as we could see. There were no cars driving by with possible radios.
No children.
No children, and it does sound juvenile.
Mm-hmm.
There was no explanation for it, other than, to a degree, you could say it was an intelligent response.
I believe it was. They were responding to what we were doing.
Yes.
And why we were doing it, or our intent.
Intent. That is a very, very important word.
Yes, it is. Now, folks, I'm going to go ahead and just play it one more time after we've kind of explained it here. So here it goes.
Oakland. Watkins. What did I put? Oakland. Watkins. What did I put? Oakland. Watkins.
That's pretty intense. I've always found that one to be very thought-provoking.
That was exactly the phrase that I was thinking as well.
Why?
Because paranormal investigating has been accused of being, we've been called Satanists.
Yeah.
We've been called atheists. We're both Catholic.
Yes. Both grew up and went to school, Catholic church.
I did not. You did.
I did. Yeah.
You did. I
take it back.
I am a late comer to the party.
Okay.
But we're both Catholic.
Yes.
And to have an EVP interjected with the word God.
That's mind-blowing.
Yes. If you go with the thought that an EVP is a captured spiritual voice, go with that, which popular theory, yes. Why is the word God used, and what do they know that we don't? That is not the only EVP we've captured that has religious connotation to it.
Yes, that's true.
We were also at a cemetery,
Yes.
a different one, but about the same age. They're both old.
Yeah.
Pretty old. And
as cemeteries go.
Well, not all of them are, there are some new ones. But this particular cemetery is rustic. Put it that way. It's rustic. We got an EVP out of there around I don't know if you remember this, Shawn, around the base of a tree, and it's "Help Me, Jesus."
Okay. Okay.
Uncover the secrets that lurk behind The Doorway in Omaha. Join us for spine-chilling episodes as we delve into the paranormal mysteries of our city and bring you captivating coast-to-coast stories that will send shivers down your spine. The Doorway from mapsomaha.com. Get ready for the extraordinary. So that EVP was from Fairview Cemetery in Council Bluffs, Iowa, also home to,
The Black Angel.
yes, absolutely, or the Dodge family's memorial to, I believe, the husband to the wife.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. It is a memorial to her. And
Yeah.
much maligned in urban myth, I'd like to add, but
Yeah, because it's actually quite beautiful.
it's beautiful, and people do weird things to it, which
That's
is
most
totally inappropriate.
totally inappropriate. Well, with that totally inappropriate, no, I'm kidding. We do have another EVP, and we'll talk a little bit about it before I show it. Many moons ago, during our extensive investigations, we were asked to come to an establishment in the Benson area, which is crazy busy. It is actually, I can go ahead and say it, it's a full house. And Tommy and Barb run it. Tommy had asked, can you come in? We have some construction that we're doing, and strange things are happening. Tools are being moved. Boards, sliding boards that they use to slide beer down into the basement to store it, the board disappeared. That was a weird one. They had a actual electric drill slide across the basement floor in front of workers who decided that was a good time to go to lunch. And so that was the reason Tommy gave us a call and said, come look. We did. And this is probably one of the most amazing EVPs that we ever discovered. And I'm going to go ahead and just play it, and then we'll talk about it when we come back.
Can you show me that you're here? I believe that you are. Can you show me that you're here? I believe that you are.
So yeah, intense. Talk a little bit about your experience with it, Terry.
Well, the Full House is an interesting building because it used to be a Model T repair shop. And it still has the outline of the big open door, you know, the door that would swing up and slide so you could drive a car in. And when you enter the Full House, you come in and you're looking at the bar, which is at the far end. Well, patrons at the bar had seen a worker walk through what they assumed was a worker, a small-built man in overalls, actually, and wife beater, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he would just not interact, just kind of walk through the wall. But when it was a Model T repair shop, it wasn't a wall. It was a door. So we thought it would be interesting to concentrate our first EVP session right under that area in the basement. You remember?
Yes.
So we're kind of standing by the basement wall, which would be facing the east.
Yes.
And that's where we captured that EVP. And what I always found really interesting was I was directing my voice right down the street.
Yeah.
And the reply from the farthest blocks, we can hear you.
Yeah.
So I am not a sound engineer in any way, shape, or form. That is all my partner. But my voice cuts through, right?
Yeah.
For some odd reason, as ingratiating as it can be,
It's
it does cut through. And they can hear me. And then one thing that really set Shawn and I back on our heels was, do you have the right to collect these sounds?
And that one, to this day, really, I guess, gets my goat. It keeps me thinking and trying to answer the question over and over in my head.
Do we?
Do we? I believe we do. I believe we do because there was, let's put it this way, we had a long meeting with a Franciscan nun. And I asked that specific question. I shared it with her. Do we have a right to collect these sounds? And she explained that for thousands of years, the fight has gone on. And we do have a right to collect the sounds, to keep the fight in focus.
And that is where intent
Yes,
plays it's the paramount issue.
it is. We had an intent to record.
We have intent. So after that, and after much deep discussion about it, we decided to change the dialogue when we do initiate an EVP session.
Yes.
I always include, because I don't know if you folks have guessed this by now, I do the talking.
Yes, you do, because I'm the chicken, usually behind holding recording equipment.
Yes, Shawn is he's the science man. But now when I initiate an EVP session, I am very quick to say we are sanctioned to be here. We are sanctioned to record you. And we have a right to collect these sounds.
We do.
And I don't know if it has changed the volume of recordings that we have, but it makes me feel better.
Yes, it does me too.
Yeah.
Because I'm not real keen on walking around in the dark. So.
No, dear listeners.
No, we don't.
My partner,
Don't care.
does.
No.
He must have the light.
Yes, I'm partial to the light.
Yes.
With that, Terry, we have so much more to talk about, but I believe that'll be in a new episode.
Ooh,
coming soon.
You tease you.
I am. For now, I'm going to learn to do all of this, to edit it, put it together.
I got faith in you.
And to make a coherent show out of it. But thank you, everyone who has come along on our journey in the last 20 years. It's been 20 years.
Yeah.
It has been 20 years. It's just, I can't fathom it, but it has been, and it's been a heck of a trip. Join us next time. Thank you, everyone. And
we'll be here when you need us.
all right. Goodbye, folks.
You're listening to the best mysteries and phenomenon the Midwest has to offer. This is The Doorway. For comments on tonight's show, go to mapsomaha.com.